All right, this past Friday, the Celtics they picked up another commanding win at home, 117 to 112. They're coming into the playoff push here. Late March, about to be early April, and the talk's about to be stirring up as the Celtics make their playoff push. And how are we feeling, Jack? Let's start with you.
Yeah, so we talk about a commanding win, but it's only by 5 points against the Grizzlies. The good thing is everything went wrong for the Celtics that could have gone wrong. They shot under 45 from the field, 26 from three.
Tatum
They
was
had
dog shit. Let's
12
throw that in.
turnovers.
Totally fair.
Nothing was going right, and still they managed to pull out a win, even when Tatum had his worst game coming back from injury. So
Comfortably his worst game.
that's a good way to look at it if you want to look at the glass half full. But we come down to a matchup tonight against the Timberwolves. With the Celtics only 4 games behind the Pistons, with 12 games left to go, and Cade Cunningham out, they really need to win all these games. Just win out or win all from now on out. And
Do you think the Pistons can go 500 without Cade over their last 12 games, though?
They absolutely could.
I think they're pretty capable of it. Jalen Duren
Bizarre
is going to have to
too.
step up, and Arcel Thompson. They're just young stars who are just
Yeah.
they need opportunity. I think they can do it.
I don't think they're slipping 4 games. I think
I don't think so either. I'm saying I can see a world where they drop some easy games that they should be winning, and the Celtics. Obviously, the Celtics need to win their easy games as well. Like you saw against the Grizzlies, they have a tendency to play down to the level of their competition.
yeah.
It's definitely possible. I mean, the Pistons, they have a tough schedule coming up. They play the Lakers and Hawks at home, followed by the Pelicans, and then they head down to Minnesota, OKC away. They play the Raptors, Timberwolves again, Philly, Orlando. Then they close off the season against Giannis and the Bucks and the Hornets. So
So a lot of
Those are-
middling competition.
those are some difficult games, especially when you're missing your star player. The team doesn't really know
Yeah,
how to
but-
function.
The chances they stay afloat there, that's pretty high.
Sounds like they stay
challenging.
afloat. I think a lot of games will be toss-ups, but Celtics need to go, 10-2 to have a chance?
It's very challenging, but for the Celtics, they can't really focus on what the Pistons are doing. They just got to do their own
Well, no,
thing.
yeah, I think
Win as many games
obviously
as
most
possible.
important thing is Tatum finding his role within the team, getting his confidence back.
Even then, I feel like all the Celtics really need to secure, I guess, is the 2 seed. I only see the real competition that they could struggle with, given last year, is the New York Knicks. So I don't really. The Pistons are obviously a young up and coming team, but if you were to tell me Celtics first Pistons right now, I would take the Celtics in 6 or 7, realistically. But I mean, maybe I just live under a rock. I'm very impressed with what the Pistons have been doing. They're kind of like the Spurs of the Eastern Conference, but I just don't. I mean, they could, but I really just don't see that.
You're telling me
happening.
you'd be more scared of the Knicks than the
Yes.
Pistons come playoff
Yes.
time?
I mean, just experience.
I agree with that. I think the
Experience-wise.
experience takes it a long way in the playoffs. That's you've seen it with the Celtics year after year.
I mean, 2 years ago, what? The Pistons lost 27 games in a row.
Yeah,
Like,
they were
that's
ass.
and they
Celtics
haven't,
almost,
they haven't gotten anywhere since. So
The Celtics were almost the team they beat.
I mean, they haven't really gone anywhere since with, I mean, playoff experience. What, they lost to the Knicks in the first round? Like, yeah, that was a great series for them, but for them to say, okay, from losing in the first round to making the finals, possible jump. I just think with an Eastern Conference tested team like the Knicks and the Celtics, who've obviously made the finals twice in the past, 4 years, 5 years,
The Celtics just seem to struggle more against the Knicks. Going
Yeah.
to MSG is a lot different than going out to Detroit.
I got to pose a question for you guys, which I think it's kind of taking a jump here, and it's a pretty big picture. But I think it's important to ask: do we think that the Celtic season's a failure if they don't make the finals, given that Tatum's back right now?
I mean, first I want to hear what you say so I can rip into you.
What? It's all about trash. Okay,
It's not
I-
all about trashing you. I just think you're the most likely to give a really bad answer here.
okay, that's definitely respectful. So to answer your question, Blake, I think yes. I mean, like, it's obviously been a rocky road, but you've seen Jaylen Brown. You've seen him come into that one spot with literally MVP potential. He still could win the MVP given the scheduling situation with the other MVP candidates and how
Yeah,
they
you
can't
just
miss.
need a bunch of injuries.
Yeah, they can't miss a lot of games, which would be crazy. I mean, if Tatum integrates properly into that and he kind of cuts down on his ISO ball, I think there's a great chance that you're looking at a very solid, hard playing team that's just going to put their butts down every night and just go for it.
I think we've been spoiled as Celtics fans making the conference finals how many years in a row, going to the final 2 out of the last 4 years. It's in the last decade there really hasn't been a team where it's like, oh, if you don't make the finals, it's a disappointing year since like the Warriors. That's
The
what
Thunder, the Thunder this year are 100% in that camp. It's
Thunder have
finals
had
or bust for
injuries.
them.
SGA has missed a few
No,
games.
don't
He's
don't
been
give me
out
that.
doing
It
the
is
J-Dub's out
finals or
right now.
bust.
Yeah, no,
It could be,
absolutely.
but you really think if they lose to the Spurs in 7 games in
The Spurs have no
conference
playoff
finals,
experience. You
Right.
want to talk about playoff experience? One thing you need to win a title is playoff experience. That's why I don't think the Spurs or the Pistons are contenders to win it all. I think they can make it there. Don't think they can win it all. I don't see how the Thunder aren't the heavy favorites to win it all.
I mean, just to go to Blank's point, like history, obviously this is a while ago, but like think about the most extreme example, Michael Jordan, those 90s Bulls. They barely cracked the playoffs in the 80s. And then in 90,
That's
they go
because Jordan's
against
overrated.
Okay, that's another
that's a
argument.
different conversation.
And you're also crazy for that. However, I think 90 they played against the Pistons, which they lost to in years prior, and they lost in like 7 or whatever it was. And then this was in the conference finals. And then the next year, to get over the hump, they had to play the Pistons. I think it went 7 in a very tough series, and then they swept them. And then obviously that was the first of 3 straight championships. For OKC, it's like if they don't get the job done, I think they're in their locker room thinking if we lose to a younger Spurs team that doesn't have any experience, yes, they have a ton of talent, but we just did that. We were just there and we're running it back with the same crew. If they didn't do that again, I think that's a little ridiculous. And I think it's the same expectation for the Celtics, albeit it's a little different since they lost last year. But games 1 and 2 against the Knicks, those games were flukes. Those were straight up flukes. Like 20-point leads, and then we go colossally bad from 3-point range in the latter half of the third quarter and fourth quarters. And that's how we
Live or
lose.
die by the 3 ball.
So you
That's Missoula ball, but
you would compare would you say the Celtics last year, up until Tatum getting hurt, but they probably would have lost anyway. Was a huge disappointment not making it out of the East? Were they should they have definitely made it to the finals that year?
100%.
yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone, around here, just thinking back to it, when we were down 2-0, I think there was still an extreme amount of confidence going
I
to the
remember
North.
They
I
might have-
remember
they might
leaving
have been favorites,
for the semester
Yeah.
and like joking with Ryan that I would go over to his house for one of the finals games and it was like we need to beat the Knicks first, but I wasn't scared about losing to the Knicks.
And it was
That's what makes it so hard to go back to back in the NBA. Everyone thought the Celtics were just a shoe, and then you end up losing. It's the shock hits. It's like, damn, okay, that happened. I could exactly see that same exact thing happening with the Thunder this year.
But
the
also-
Spurs are the team to do that.
But also to losing to having a 2-0 deficit to the Knicks right off the bat. It's the same thing when we were down 3-0 to the Heat and 23. I feel like it was that same vibe.
Yeah.
And we were down 3-0 and
What?
I felt the same way.
and we were like, we should totally beat this team. And obviously we pushed it 7 and Tatum got
A
injured.
team that you're way better than, and you still end up losing to. That
Yeah,
happens
but
all
when
the
we were
time in
down
basketball.
3-0 to the Heat, I was like, okay, the season's over. Even though we're the better team, there's no hope. Against the Knicks, it was like we might be down 2-0, but we still should be the favorites
Okay,
to
but-
come
so
out.
then
Fine,
go to the
fine.
Heat
That's
one.
your opinion, and your opinion is always different for everyone else. Because
well, let's circle back to the original
Okay,
question.
so let me
Is
bring
the
this up.
Celtics-
Then. Well, when you were down 2-0 to the Heat before that third game happened, were you still feeling the same way?
Dude, that's like 5 years ago.
Exactly. I mean, come on, your feelings. That's
You can't even remember yesterday.
That's to
you kidding
build on
me?
Liam's point. It's like, all right, the 2-0 game, you could have the debate, whatever. But when you're playing a team that is so much shittier than you and you just know you should be winning, it just takes a lot out of you when you're down that
Yeah.
much. 2-0, it's a disappointment.
Agreed.
All right, well, to circle back to the original question, talking about disappointments, it would not be a disappointment for the Celtics to not come out of the East. When you talk about the season from the beginning, it was let's tank.
Yes, but given now, you look at them, you say,
Even now, you still have a
they
guy
play-
who came back from an Achilles injury 8 months ago.
Just because I believe we're the best team in the East doesn't mean I think it would be a disappointment or a failure to not make it out the East.
yeah, but I'm not talking about the expectations last year. I'm talking right now.
Well, it
given
wasn't
what
last
you
year; it was going into the season.
You know what I mean? Given the team right now,
I would still say no, it's not a disappointment. It's very
It's not a
rare for your
disappointment
team
at
to not make it to the finals and call it a disappointment.
Okay.
Because you can't remove the context of the entire season
Yeah, I agree.
and expect to view it in an unbiased light. I think the expectations coming in are 100% relevant. I think everybody knew Tatum was
Listen,
probably going to be able to
there's-
come back in March, April, in time for the playoffs.
There's
Okay.
definitely scenarios where things can go down. It's like, oh, they definitely should have made the final. If Cade stays hurt for a while, so when then Knicks goes down, we get an easy path like to the conference finals.
Yeah.
There's definitely a case we made. Oh, then it's disappointing. But as of right now, just looking at it how it is, no, it shouldn't be that big of a worry.
Let me end with this. I understand your opinions. I get it. But come April, come May, if we're in the semifinals or conference finals and we're playing the Knicks or the Pistons, whoever it may be, and we lose, I'm going to be disappointed.
I'll be disappointed. That doesn't mean the season was a disappointment.
It's a big difference. That's where you have to draw.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we'll just cut our losses there.